It's almost move-in day for a lot of new arrivals. It's time for me to get my stuff in order. They're coming tomorrow. Today is all about prepping for their arrival. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? It's Adam at Proper Royals. Today's gonna be a little more of a vlog style because I gotta be on my feet and moving, but I wanted to share the experience with you of purchasing a collection, getting them moved in, and everything that goes into having one setup and then having to change everything really all at once. If you haven't seen that other video, I'll put a link up for it. Check it out. It's pretty exciting stuff that I've gotten myself into, but today I'll just be focusing on the move-in. If we've not met before, this video is all about my family's journey from ball python hobbyist to ball python business. Forgive the vlog style and the weird lighting today. Normally I put a lot more work into that, but today is actually about getting down to work and just filming the work that I'm doing. Before we dive in too deep, I'm lucky enough to have sponsors for my videos, and today's video is sponsored by Gershon at GPSnakes. If you don't know Gershon, he's a great dude in the hobby. He's a breeder, but he also hosts his own live streams, has a killer channel, and he's been at it a long time. I've learned a lot, and he's really looked out for me. And yes, he's sponsoring this video, but let me tell you what, man, Gershon's an awesome dude. Go check him out as well. Link in the description. GPSnakes is what you're looking for, and Gershon is the man behind GPSnakes. Right here where I'm standing, and again the lighting's a little bit weird, but there's a corridor right here. My sink is over here, and this wall is the wall to my snake room, and the door is back there. I've got to get an ARS 40 rack down this little corridor, which is only, I think I got 30 inches of width between the edge of the sink and this wall here. I know it's a modular setup, but I'd like to be able to wheel it in. Those racks are 27 inches deep, and you know, maybe I'm at 33 inches, but it's not going to make this corner. I've got to figure out how little of it I can possibly disassemble to get into this door. And now inside my snake room, this whole area is only, the outside of it is 12 by 8, so the inside's actually a little bit smaller. You can see my current racks and my current setup, which has always worked for me. It's not nearly as efficient as an ARS rack is, and when I talk about efficiency on space, that 4 inches in between every, maybe 6, in between every 2 tubs is a lot of wasted space. That 3/4 of an inch and then a 1/2 inch under it is a lot of wasted space. These locks are fantastic on these hefty tubs, but every time you gotta pull one out, you can't look into the tub without unlocking it and pulling it all the way out and taking the lid off. So checking on your snakes is more difficult. So that's where the ARS racks are really going to help me out. I've always used racks with lids, locking lids on it. So what I've got to do is I'm actually going to pull the back rack of animals. Those are all that's my grow out rack. So that's all immature males and females or grow out hatchlings, holdbacks. And this room is kept at a pretty constant, my thermostat is set on 79. It's actually a warm day here in Florida. It's already 83 in here, so I'm actually going to even open the door, let that temperature come down. But my point is, it's plenty warm for an overnight or a day of these animals not being on a heated 90-degree spot. They're going to be just fine. Like I say, non-breeders, holdbacks, that kind of thing. There are some males over here that do some breeding. They won't be paired up for another 5 days at most, and I'm going to have them back in the new rack tomorrow night. I got to take these animals out, and I'm going to leave them in their tubs, and I'm probably just going to stage them on that table right there. But I actually have to think about how I'm going to get the ARS rack in and that other rack out if that table's here. Those snakes might have to go somewhere else. They'll stay in the heated part. They might have to get stacked up somewhere else though. So I do have a hatchling rack back here that is completely unused right now. I use it for a little bit of storage, but it's empty as far as hatchlings go. I'm actually going to take this thing out first and foremost then reassess what space I have and where I'm going to keep these snakes set up for, you know, the next not quite 24 hours. Because while they'll be fine in their tubs, I want them in. I don't want them. The less I can be moving them around, and the less they can be disrupted, the better off they are. The more consistent their habitat is, the happier they are. All right, so I got a little more room in here. I took out that hatchling rack. I'm just gonna take a few minutes and play with a little bit of layout and some measurements and figure out just how and where I wanna put in both the ARS 5040 tomorrow and where I'm gonna store the snakes this evening to make sure that I can get them in tomorrow. All right, so the angle's a little bit weird, but that rack back there behind me, there's 8 adult tubs on it. There's 5 grow outs and there's 1 hatchling tub on there. What I discovered with some measuring is that on top of this rack that's gonna stay put, I've got clearance for 4 high of these tubs and I've got clearance for 2 wide. So I'm gonna go 4 high, 2 wide on these adult 32 quart tubs over here on top of my incubator, which is empty at the moment. Nothing going on in there right now. There I'll stack my other grow out tubs and my 1 hatchling tub. And then I'm gonna pull this table out of here as well so that I have enough space to get the big ARS rack in here, take stock of space tomorrow. And ultimately this rack right here behind me, I'm gonna sell that rack, and this rack will probably become home for only my biggest of my breeders down the line that need something bigger than a 32 quart tub. I'll keep that rack. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do right now. I've got to get all the little things in here packed up, moved out in an orderly manner. The other thing I gotta watch is that I got sheds drying all over the place. I pack them up and ship them out to Dr. Seidel's Ball Python's Genetics Project. Right there. All right, so I got the room cleared out. And I'm not sure if the new racks are gonna go along the back wall there where I have the curtains, or if I'm gonna readjust some things on this wall right here. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna take some measurements this evening. So keep it right here. I'm going to let you know everything that we got going on. I'll show you the new update. Be sure to check out GPSnakes with Gershon. He's a good dude. Like I say, I would take it as a personal favor if you would check out his site. I appreciate that he helps me keep the lights on with the sponsorship. Keep it right here. I'm going to let you know everything that I got going on. And until next time, see ya.